A lot of people will use substances, they'll drink, they'll smoke weed or whatever, and they'll be able to self-regulate, they'll be able to stop. It won't be something that takes a prominent role in their life. Certain folks, though, either from genetic predispositions or from having co-occurring mental health issues or trauma, they'll start using a substance and then find it very hard to curb their use over time. And what they'll see is they'll start using it in ways that get in the way of their function. And that's when we think that things have veered into the addiction category.
My name is Derek Drescher. I was a juvenile delinquent. Been incarcerated before. Justice involved. I was also a junkie, very bad on drugs at one time. I just got to a point where it was like I didn't want to die with a needle in my arm. And I had overdosed really bad a few times by then. The last time I had overdosed, the nurse had walked back into the room I was in when she was like, "I just want to let you know you were the first person we saved this week. Everybody else died." And I still used after that. Not as hard. The heroin was just so hard to get off of. I mean, the withdrawal is... I had to do it being under supervised medically. I couldn't do it on my own.
Opiate withdrawals is a very unpleasant state, and it's often the reason that people keep using once they've started using. As clinicians, we look for sustained use of a substance over time that's impairing their function. And this can be function at home, at work. It can mean an inability to physically stop using due to physical symptoms, which can include craving and withdrawal symptoms like anxiety, tremors, and symptoms like that. And so once we see all that constellation of symptoms that's impairing their function socially and causing physical trouble, then we think you're diagnosed with a substance use disorder. And for those that are sort of experimenting with substances, we tend to call it substance misuse these days, as opposed to other terms that have been used historically. If you're worried that you might have a substance use disorder, there are a couple signs to pay attention to. One is you find basically substance use becoming the answer to every question in your life. What to do after work, what to do when you're bored, tired, angry, hungry. And once this substance starts taking a hold, then you have to start thinking to yourself, I might be at risk here of developing a substance use disorder or have an addiction. And then certainly, although it's hard, you should pay attention to what the people around you are saying. And it's often the loved ones that are the first ones that are aware of this and say, hey, what's going on here? And it can be hard at times to listen to that voice, but I think that's important early information for those at risk for substance use.